Thanks for your continued interest. Got the mission now. There it is. Make a dry aged steak. These letters are encrypted. You'll notice that they use creative spelling every time to make sure it can't just fall into anyone's hands. Okay, so here's the eye around. You can see it's definitely shorter, smaller. When I get this, this fat cap comes off real easy. Silver skin comes off real easy. And then it's just pure meat. I did find one Wagyu one time. I got that to try it out. It made delicious jerky with nice marbling and stuff, but hard to find. I think who knows why they got it in stock, but $4.79 a pound. So again, it's a little more flat this way. So I'm gonna try standing it up. And actually, I think I'm gonna do fat side down because when you are drying it, you're gonna get, you put it on the rack, so it gets little bumps, ridges on the racks. So I prefer that on the fat. That's just have some fat that's going to be coming off rather than more meat. I think that may yield a higher amount of meat. I'm going to trim that little guy off just because it's going to be wasted one way or another. And then it'll go on the top rack of the fridge to dry age. So we're gonna check on our dry aging after 2 weeks. See how dark they've turned. Nice and pretty if you know what the end product is. Hopefully they turn out. So here's that eye of round after about a month, 28 days. See the color change? Real dark. So we're going to cut into this and see what it looks like on the inside. We'll try to just trim off the end here. You can see that dark red color inside. And all this on the outside, that pellicle that's just dried up, has a kind of sticky texture, but could have trimmed off a little bit less. We're gonna try to make a nice thick steak out of it first for that first nice cut. Look at that. It's funny the coloring that comes out close to the fat cap, how it changes. We're gonna cut all that off, and then we'll be left with this aged steak. So feeling around trying to get the smallest amount of pellicle taken off as I can. But you see, for just this little baby steak, you've got almost an equivalent amount of pellicle that's coming off. I'm gonna take a little bit more. On this side, a little bit more is left, so I'm gonna save that stuff, and I'm just gonna end up in for some ground dry aged burgers. But cute little steak. We'll cook it up and find out what that's like. For this next one, I'm going to try to just peel it off around the sides. See if you get a little more uniform cut. See if I feel a little bit better. Scrape it along the hard. It does seem to be coming off a little nicer. Kind of feeling where that edge is. That's a little nicer style medallion. Now we're working on our last chunk. Has a slight funky dry age smell to it. I don't mind it, I like it. But it is a different odor than what you get out of just a pure fresh beef. They say as it gets, the longer you dry age it, it'll start taking on flavors more like blue cheese. I'll describe it that way. And so what we've done is by dry aging it, we pull out the moisture that's inside. So when you're cooking a steak, a fresh steak, you know, you'll want to pat it dry, or even put it on absorbent paper to get you a better sear. But by having the water content lower from the steak, then you get these deeper beef flavors. So make it kind of a steakier steak. And then there's kind of for everybody a certain level of dry age. So this one's been going for about a month, and the longer it goes, the more you get those reports of kind of that blue cheese flavor. So there's a perfect dry aging for everyone, or preferred dry aging, as to what it does to the texture, the flavor of the meat, in addition to the variables of like how you prepare it, how you cook it. I'm trying to take off a lot of this meat that's still the dry age part without being the real tough, leathery pellicle. So I'm going to use that and grind it up for burgers. Have a nice dry aged, fresh brown burger meat. So I'll work on that. So out of that larger roast that I had, this is kind of what we ended up with as far as the smaller roast, some trim meat that I'll use for burgers. And this is all the pellicle that we're kind of losing. So it's not only the time, but this amount of meat loss, why dry aged steaks so expensive. So after trimming it before I put it into dry age, and then trimming off all the extra pellicle, I ended up with 2 pounds, 3.5 ounces. So 35 ounces from that eye of round. We'll go back and compare that to what we bought and get a price per pound and see how much we ended up with. So here's dinner. We're taking some of that eye of round that's been aged, wrapped it in bacon, gonna pan sear it off, and then finish it off in the air fryer. Kind of a little tenderloin type treatment. Have that with a nice salad. Okay, we got our salad mix, nice and cleaned up, and a blueberry vinaigrette. So we're gonna, I like a little heavy dressing. Gotta toss it, make sure every leaf of lettuce has a nice even coating. And we're gonna plate it up. One side of the plate. Nice and lovely. And then we've got our rested, dry aged Eye of Brown bacon wrapped. Looks like a good dinner. Okay, there we go. Make a dry aged steak.